Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you for joining me once again for one of these diary entries for Pokemon TCG Pocket. And new pack has come out, Paldean Wonders. It looks like we're going to get a whole lot of Paldean Pokemon. Now, this was released a few days prior to my actually of recording this because this came out just a little bit before Pokemon's 30th anniversary on the 27th of February, and I did a couple of my free packs pulling out some of the cards, but I am going to try to read over everything as I get them here, just because I really didn't read over much of them there. And we'll see how they end up going. Now, before we do get into those in the proper there, I do want to showcase some of the special cards that I had gotten in the previous packs, just with off of my daily pulls from the packs, just to see what kind of things that you can get without necessarily spending a lot to get more of the packs there. Just kind of your daily things, and I still have not completed out that fantastical parade yet. I've got a few more cards, but let's look at them.
To start things off, we actually got some really cool Blacephalon EXs. We got this Rainbow Rare, which is, I think, supposed to be equivalent to like a SIR, which, shows them putting on a show, popping off their head for lots of fireworks and just a lot of entertainment for them to be able to have. It's really bright, really colorful, and I think that that's something really good. It's gone on that black background to kind of make all of the colors really pop. And then we also have the full art version of the Blacephalon. Again, the background, the red and the blacks, kind of makes it very vibrant there, but definitely the art card is a lot more preferable to that one there. We also got the Swampert, which Mega Swampert EX didn't get it when I originally opened up the packs for Fantastical Parade, so this was one of the ones that I needed. 230 HP, water type, 3 water for Strong Arm Destroyer, 150 damage, so hits pretty hard. Discard 2 random energy from among the energy attached to all Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So, you are hoping that it doesn't impact yours because, hey, they could potentially get rid of the ones that are attached to Mega Swampert, and if it gets rid of 2, well, you might not be able to get it put back on. So I'm kind of on the fence of this one. It's 230 HP, so it's really bulky and whatnot. I do, again, think it's very, very weird that they have things like this Swampert, where if you look in that bottom left, it has a weakness of electricity, but Swampert is part ground, so it would be immune to it. So I think that they should actually be reviewing over these, because that should be grass, not electric. Also, what I wanted to point out is that I didn't pull it out from one of the packs there originally, and I did it this time, but I didn't have a photo of it, so I took this one afterwards. But it is a Vanillix that has Sweets Relay. Now, we did have a Sweets Relay Vanillish and Vanillite. So having this one here is kind of bringing it back to it, which I'm going to be honest, this one should have been in those previous ones, and I think that it was a design flaw to try to put it into here, unless they were trying to get more Sweets Relay Pokemon. So bit of a miss on my part, and from my point of view, to try to get this through. However, I do want to maybe make a new Sweets Relay deck, because my original one was just grass type, because the Slurpuff and the Alcremie, which were the other creatures in there alongside the Applin Appleton, which all had Sweets Relay, were just, you could use green and the for the Appleton, but the Alcremie and the Slurpuff were just colorless. This one, you have to use blue, but second stage does 60, and then if you used Sweets Relay the turn before, it does an extra 60, so 120 damage. The most that Slurpuff was doing was 100, not 100, it was just doing 90. So this can deal a little bit more extra damage. You got to put a little bit more into it, but you have all 3 stages being able to use that Sweets Relay, which is kind of interesting. Another EX that we didn't get in when pulling the stuff, Toxtricity EX, 150 HP, lightning type, 2 lightning energy, and a colorless for damaging spark, 90 damage. Also does 30 to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. So it's one of those weird ones where you need them to have damage on it. So kind of you want to have something like Spiritomb that deals a little bit to the back there. So it's a little bit difficult. It doesn't hit quite as hard because it's only 90 at most to a single Mon. So maybe not the most impactful. We also got this nice little green shiny Kabuto. Always like that. You know, we got that Kabuto King going around there. We also got the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Now, this is the only diamond card that I do not have in the Fantastical Parade. So once I get the regular Teal Mask Ogerpon, that set will be complete. But just to go over it, it's a basic Pokemon, 130 HP, grass type with Soothing Wind. Each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached recovers from all status conditions and can't be affected by any status conditions. So it's maybe not the best one to have out as your active, but it's a pretty darn good one in terms of being able to have a support effect there, because making it so that they can't be affected by any status conditions are pretty good, though I don't think that at the current moment there's a whole lot of status conditions going around that make it super impactful. You know, it can be annoying for like confusion and paralysis and sleep and burn and poison and whatnot there, but I think most people kind of get around it. Now, it does have an attack double green, energized leave 60 plus if the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon is 5 or more. This attack deals 60 more damage, so maximum of 120 if there's a lot of energy between both active Pokemon. It's, you know, it's okay. I like the support ability on it a lot more. Now, this Donphan EX, the shiny one, was actually in the same pack as the Ogerpon, as you can see here, both of them brand new. Really, really great to get them there. Not my favorite shiny, but I will certainly take it. We also get this really, really cute Sandshrew of them just kind of rolling around almost like tumbleweeds. You got the one in the back just kind of looking around like, huh? Like, what's going on? But I just thought that they were really cute. We got another shiny Latios. Not Latios, Latios. So, you know, good on that. And I ended up getting this fantastical God Pack there. Now, unfortunately, it came with 2 illustration rares that I already had of the Vivillon and the Tyrantrum, but I got a second of the immersive art of the Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir EX, and then I also got the Indeedee Male art card. But most importantly, within this, I also got a gold card. So I am now looking to save up my points for these packs because I'm doing my dailies in these to hopefully try to get the other gold card, because I know that there's a second one in it. But yeah, Meloetta we had seen before. It's a decent support Pokemon, but you know, maybe not something that I'm going to use. Like, I definitely want to try to get the Pokeball gold card, because you know, you use that one a whole lot. Now, going back, there was also the event where there was Mega Medicham EX, which was a bit annoying there. 180 HP, fighting type, 1 fighting, double colorless, chakra fist, 100 plus. If it has any psychic energy on it, it deals 40 more damage. The attack's damage isn't affected by any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. So if your opponent's active says like, oh, you know, like it takes 60 less damage during your opponent's next turn, well, it gets past that there. Now, it's not the most powerful, and it does take a whole lot, but if you are playing against slower decks, you know, it can really start chalking up some damage on them. Among my pulls there, I also got this shiny Clefable. It's got its cute little green ears, and this awesome Cramorant illustrated rare that takes some inspiration from its, I think it's like Spit Up ability. There's Gulp Missile, that's what it's called, Gulp Missile ability, where it's possible for a Pikachu to get lodged into the mouth of the Cramorant, and if you attack it, it shoots the Pikachu out with the possibility of stunning, and it deals some electric damage. But I think it was interesting to get it on there, but also kind of poor Pikachu. Like, that's not a great fate. Also, Shiny Lugia EX. This one here doesn't have its artwork remanded, so it just is as it is. So, we get to keep this one. Another shiny for the books there, a shiny Magmar, getting a little bit of pink where its yellow used to be. And a third shiny Latios. What do you say about that? Well, I say I want a Latios, and so I got one there. Nice gold coloring on it, so got, I guess, 3 big brothers to kind of protect the sister there. And to round it off, we got this nice little Cacnea illustrated rare, which just has Cacnea kind of traversing over one of the desert dunes there, looking up at the stars and just sort of wondering about the universe, I guess. But yeah, that was all of the ones that I had gotten in between the 2 packs, and I thought that pretty good, especially getting a God pack that has a gold in it. Who knew?
Alrighty, now that we have taken a look at all of those kind of amazing looking cards that we got, we are going to hop right on into Paldean Wonders and see what those have in store for us this time. Now, I do have a few of my dailies here to be able to open it up, so we're going to get started on that first, and then we can open up the Hourglass ones, and as well as the ones from the gold that I'd gotten for the 100 packs here. Starting off with Paldean Wooper, 60 HP Dark type, Dark colorless flop for 40. Okay. For Lore, 50 HP Grass type, 1 for Ball Roll 20x. Flip a coin until you get tails. It does 20 damage for each head. So we're going back to kind of those other ones that we have gotten, like with Eevee and Continuous Steps, and I can't remember which other one that we had, but we've gotten a couple of these where it's just flip until you get hits, and you can do a whole lot of damage with them. It's nice to get in a little bit of a random deck there, but probably not the most, it's not the best one to be able to do with all of your time and effort putting into the decks together, unless you do want kind of that random deck. Dondozo with a little Tatsugiri in its mouth, 130 HP, water type, 3 water and a colorless, Giga Impact 120 during your next turn. This can't attack. It's a lot of energy to use that one attack, even on a basic. It's got a huge retreat cost there. I don't think it's much worth playing. Lechonk, 60 HP, colorless, 1 for tackle 20. Cute little guy ruffling around maybe for some truffles. And an Armarouge EX. Okay, starting off with an EX. 140 HP, fire type. Armor takes 3 less from attacks. That can be kind of decent. And Armor Cannon. Fire and 2 for 120 damage. Discard a fire energy from this Pokemon so you can keep on repeating it. You can't build up on other people, but I mean, if you're able to get this early on, 120 damage isn't anything to scoff at. I think that as long as they don't have healing or protection, it can KO anything in 2 shots there. So if you're able to get it out there, potential. But the Megas are just hitting so hard right now, especially the Charizard, that it's a little bit difficult to be like, yes, something of that caliber. Though it is only a first stage Pokemon instead of a second stage like Charizard is, so it might be a little bit more functional in that you're able to get it out quick enough for that. Next up, we're going to get a little Crocalore, 100 HP fire type, fire and colorless, 50 damage, cloth, 100 HP, fighting type, double fighting for adrenaline hammer 70. This is now confused. Not that great, but he looks really, really goofy here, standing on the side of a mountain, just, defying all of gravity. It's got the ground to his right and the sky to his left there. I think that this is a great perspective for Cloth, especially since when you do encounter the giant version of it, I'm trying to remember, the Titan Cloth in Scarlet and Violet, they are clinging to the side of the mountain like that. So while I don't think it's a good card, I think that the art on this is very, very good. Another Crocalor and a Docksponge. Cute little Docksponge there. Showcasing its wonderful little, ears and scruff where it's got all of those pastries. 100 HP, Psychic type, double Psychic, play rough, 50 plus. Flip a coin if heads, does an extra 50. Yeah. And low kicks, lashing out there with one of its legs, its back legs there to kick really hard there with its Common Rider mask on. 100 HP, dark type, 1 dark for rocket jump, 80 damage. Flip a coin if tails, does nothing. Yeah, kind of even the rocket jump kind of feels a little bit Common Rider-esque. So yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense there. Get those ones on in. Now this is going to be a bit of a smaller set comparatively to the past one. As you can see, there's only 93 different cards in this, not including the shiny Pokemon, because the shiny Pokemon are from past sets. So, I mean, comparatively to the Gardevoir Fantastical Parade, which had, I think it was like 150 something in it. Bramblegast, 100 HP, grass type, grass and colorless, continuous tumbling, 60x, flip a coin until you get tails, does 60 for each heads. So another one there, very similar to the Relor, except an extra energy to do 3 times the amount of damage for each one. I mean, if I'm going to use this sort of effect, kind of would want to do it more so on the Bramblegast than the Relor, but we'll have to see how, the Bramblin and the Rabsca end up doing. Dolive, 90 HP, grass type, grass colorless seed bomb for 40, nothing special there, though they are looking very, very curious at the flowers that are growing there, or either raising their hand up to block their eyes from the sun, or you yourself are laying down in the grass in all of the flowers there, and Dolive is just saying hi, just really shy of it. Wiglet poking its head out from the seafloor, 60 HP, water type, 1 water for water gun, 20. Waxwell, 80 HP water, double water for splashing turn, 40 damage. Switch it with one of your bench Pokemon, so a little bit of a flip turn action there. So that could be pretty good. Get a little bit of damage in, and then be able to retreat it out to protect it from damage. And a Chi-Yu, one of the treasures of Paldea. 80 HP, fire type, fire colorless, mega fire of envy, 40 plus if any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn. This is 60 extra damage, so a good 100 on it there. Not too bad there. Could be a nice little revengey killer if you really, really need it. Especially if you're trying to run not a whole lot of EX decks, I guess. Let's see what else we get. Okay, we finished up all of the free ones. Now we're going to go into our 10 packs. We've got a bit of the hourglasses, so we're going to be starting off with those first, seeing what we might be able to grab. And get them all lined up. Boop, 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 boop. And we're opening all of them. Didn't hear anything, didn't see anything, so we'll be surprised when we get something. Tough, 80 HP. Metal type, 1 metal, 1 colors for light punch for 50 damage. A bit surprisingly that it's punching when it's got its little hammer there. So I think I would have chosen probably a different move for it there, like light beating or club swing, something that would be a bit more relevant, but it looks like it's looking for something. It's climbed up to the top of some cliff and is looking out maybe for its brethren, or maybe looking for its trainer, looking for maybe a Corviknight to evolve into Tinkaton and throw its club at. Who knows? Primeape, 80 HP, fighting type, 1 fighting for rage, 30 plus. This attack does more damage equal to the damage this Pokemon has on it. Okay, so a bit similar to the one that we had from, that was a based off of the jungle set in the original genetic Apex that was doing, what was it? I think it was 60 damage for 2, and then it did an extra 40 if it had any damage on it. So this is kind of a lesser version of that, where it'll get more damage based off, it'll be more damaging based off of the more damage it's taken, though this is Paldea, so there's probably an Annihilate, so we'll have to see what that one does. But interesting thing of this, if you see in the background, it is covering up one of the spots where the treasures of Paldea were sealed away to keep them calm. But that's a interesting little thing to be able to include into it. Now, I don't exactly know which ones are which, so I don't know if this is like the Tinglu one, or if this is Chiyu or Woqian. It doesn't look, I don't think that this yellowish color would be for Qianpao, because I think it would be more of like a bluish color. Maybe Woqian would be green. My best guess would be Tinglu, but that would be my guess. Arctibax, 90 HP, water type, water and colorless, frost smash for 50. Okay, just is what it is. Houndstone, 130 HP, psychic type, psychic and colorless for last respects. Okay, so something that a lot of people have been scared about in the past. 50 plus, this attack does 20 more damage for each psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. So, if there is a way for you to discard things or get milled with them, or even if you've got a KO from your Pokemon got KO'd, like a second stage Pokemon, then 3 get sent to your graveyard, and this gets elevated by 60 extra damage for that. So now you can do quite a bit of damage. Like, I can see why this one would end up doing more, but I think it would be difficult to get to the same scary level that it was in the like VGC and Smokin sets, because it was scary there. Oh, look at the little Wooper. They're just vibing in some mud. Oh, they being so cute. They just have no thoughts in their head whatsoever. They're just relaxation. Very, very cute boy. We'll definitely take that. This first hit of the 10 pack, and it was our first pack. Flamigo, 90 HP, colorless, double colorless for wing attack, 50 HP. It's doing a little maybe flamenco dance for us. Just have a repeating Flamigo, Flamigo, Flamigo. I would be surprised if there's going to be a task of like, get 5 Flamigo, because you can see like 5 Flamigo on this card. Another Chiyu, a Tinkatink, 60 HP, metal type, metal and colorless for beat, 30 HP. Definitely trying their best to be a version of He-Man. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. Or even trying to do their own Thundercat impression of like, thunder, 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 Thundercat. Just being some of their like mid-80s favorite cartoon there. Mankey, okay, this is going off with our Primate there, 60 HP. Fighting type, 1 fighting for Fury Swipes, 10x, flip 3 coins. This attack does 10 for each heads. It's kind of meh attack, and honestly, having the Primate only be 20 extra HP off of this is a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to have 30 or 40. So either have the Mankey have like 50 HP, and then the Primate has maybe like 90. I don't know what the Annihilate has, but it feels too close that it's just, my Mankey took damage, I'll just use a potion on it, and now it technically had as much staying power as the Primate. It just doesn't make much sense. It just feels... I don't know if I would evolve this into this Paldean Wonders Primate ever. I think I would just want to evolve into the genetic Apex one, and then evolve into Annihilate if the Annihilate is better than that. Orthworm, 100 HP, steel type, or metal type, 1 metal energy for iron supply, 10 damage. Take a metal energy from your energy zone, attach it to one of your bends. So, kind of a lesser form of the Dialga EX ability. Still being able to get a little bit of your ramping in for steel, and might actually be a better version of it, because if this gets KO'd, you only lose one. It's a basic Pokemon with 100 HP. You can use the attack on the first turn that you're able to put energy onto it, whereas with Dialga you need 2. Dialga does do 20 extra damage and gets 2 extra ones out there, but you could also, if you wanted to hype up the Dialga, you know, like, be like, okay, you know, Steel Energy on this attack, get the Steel Energy on the Dialga, and then, you know, you could keep on putting this in to try to retreat it, or I'm trying to remember, I think we've got something that might give, I think we've got something that gives retreat cost of 2 for things, so then you could use that, bring out the Earthworm, bring in the Dialga, put the extra Steel Energy onto it, do the 30 damage now, and put the extra ones out. Or you could just forego the Dialga in general and try to get some other Steel type things. You know, there's possibilities that you could do with this. I think that this might go underground there. By that I mean, like, it might not be picked up on how useful it can be as a bit of a support Pokemon. But yeah, it seems like an interesting support. A little bit of Houndstone, and we got our background change, so we know we got something in this. Hopefully we got like a 2-star or something. Houndstone, Gimme Ghoul, 60 HP, Psychic type, 1 colorless continuous coin toss, 20x. Coin until you get tails, you get 20 for each heads. Very similar to the other ones that we got, like Eevee and Rellor there. We'll have to see what the Goldengo is. I did see previously that the illustrated rare for the Gimme Ghoul and then the SIR for the Goldengo are based off of Gimme Ghoul and Goldengo cards that had come out within, you know, the past few years, that I think are really, really cool, that they stack on each other almost like the like duo cards from the past where you had to combine them to get like super powerful Pokemon. Flittle, 50 HP, Psychic type, 1 Psychic for flop for 20. Scovillain, double-headed Pepper, 100 HP, Grass type, 1 Grass, 1 colorless, Red Hot Headbutt, 60x. If your opponent's active is a Grass or Steel Pokemon, this does 40 more damage. So if they're also weak, no, they're not going to be weak to Grass types there. That's the only thing. So this is good in a mirror Grass deck, but also good in a Steel deck as well. Interesting. Another Lechonk, and possibly our big card here. Ooh, shiny, shiny, shiny Pokemon, Entei EX. So not necessarily a 2-star. We got like a 2 foil, which will absolutely take that. Sometimes hard to get these. You know, this is the one where it's in your active spot at the end of the turn. You get to draw a card there. Does some extra damage if you got some extra fire energy on it. Entei doesn't have the most impressive looking shiny. The most notable thing is that some of its accents here, like around its face, turn gray instead of red. Like I said, not the most impressive shiny, but we'll still take it nonetheless because, hey, that's something cool. So we've gotten 2 special things in these packs that had nothing shine, had nothing sound off on them. At least I didn't hear any sound, so you might have. Quaxley, 60 HP, Water type, 1 Water Splashing Dodge, 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So a little bit stally, and then you get the Quaxwell on this, be able to do the flip turn out, do the extra damage. Okay, you know, stalling and then trying to get the Quavel out. Mesagoza, new stadium. Once during each player's turn, that player may flip a coin. If heads, that player puts a random Pokemon from their deck into their hands. Now that is insane. Just to be able to get a random Pokemon if you get heads. Now, this could be something that I see the trainer card will run alongside with, because then you can guaranteed make sure that you get random Pokemon out of your deck, which is just more deck thinning, so you're able to get the things that you want faster, and, you know, not huge decks in general, so, you know, I think that it's quite possible for this one to be good. Fido, 60 HP, Psychic type, 1 Psychic rear kick for 20. This is just looking really cute. Just maybe a lost little puppy there, or just looking for a friend. Fido just generally has these sad eyes, so, just want to kind of give it a little scritch of the head and make sure that it's okay. Florigato, 90 HP, Grass type, 1 Graph for Leaf Step 30. Okay, being a little adventurous, sitting up in the tree. Kissing, Veluza, 100 HP, Water type. Water and triple colorless for Shredding Spiral, 90 damage. If you have no cards in your deck, this attack can be used for 1 water energy. Okay, so if you draw a whole lot of your cards, get through it there, 1 water for 90 damage on this isn't too bad, but I mean, 4 energy on a basic Pokemon can be a little bit intense, so trying to find a way to get rid of all of the cards in your deck might not be the best idea, but, it's a strategy, I guess. Palmo, 90 HP, Lightning type, 1 Lightning for Head Gold for 30. Being very, very cute, rubbing its cheeks alongside Pikachu. They're just being really good friends, probably running around and doing anything that they possibly want to, just have a good time. Bombardier, or as I've heard, Bombardier. 90 HP, Dark type, looking very menacing. Like, I don't think I've seen a Bombardier this scary. And it's a stork, but it's looking more like a vulture in this one. 3 colorless for Fly, 70 point of Tails, does nothing if heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. That's a big reward, big risk, big reward of 3 energy to do 70 damage with the potential of doing nothing. Yikes. Spiritito, super cute. My starter from Scarlet and Violet. I just really like cats, so when I saw this one, I was like, yep, I definitely have to have a cat. 60 HP, Grass type, 1 Grass for Leafage 20. Reverum, 110 HP, Steel type. 1 Steel, 1 Colorless, Poison Gas, 50. Opponent's active is now poisoned. Okay. Koraidon, one of the big legends from the game. 120 HP, is Fighting type. Double Fighting, Double Colorless, Rampaging Fang, 120 damage. Discard 2 Fighting from this Pokemon. Not that good. Sorry, boy. But I'm glad to get you in the collection. Quaquaval, here we go. 150 HP, Water type. Torrent. This Pokemon's HP is less than 50. Attacks used by this do 60 active damage to your opponent's active. Okay, interesting. Hydro Kick, 2 Water and a Colorless for 90 damage. Potential of getting an extra 60 on that for 150 if its HP is low. Trying to get in one last hit there that's really powerful before this goes down. And it's, a second stage that's not an EX, so it only would necessarily give one... it would only give 1 prize. It doesn't give prize cards now, it just gives the points. But yeah, so it doesn't accelerate them super fast. But yep, we'll take it for the collection too. Tinkatink, Quaxley, Shroodle, 50 HP Dark type, 1 for Scratch, 20 damage. Ooh, and a little bit of a Suicoco action there. Singing to a little flower, testing their pipes for when they become bigger boys. 70 HP, Fire type, Tearful Singing for 1, put a random basic from your deck onto your bench. Okay, so, if you don't have that many basics and you're looking for more, it's a good way to be able to get more of your deck out there, on the first turn. Oh, I dig it. Another Quaxwell, Frigiback, 60 HP, Water type, 1 water for just chili. Just chili. It's... for an adjective, it's not like a noun or a verb, it's just chilly. 20 damage. I wish it was something else like chilly wind or like chilly something, but it's just weird for them to put just an adjective here. Weird. Capsicid, 60 HP, Grass type, 1 for Playful Kick, 10. Just kicking rocks, told to go kick rocks and it doesn't know what it actually means. Palmot, 140 HP, Lightning type, double Lightning energy for Thunder Blast 100. Discard a Lightning energy from this Pokemon. Okay, kind of similarly to the other one there of the Armor Rouge there. You know, a little bit less damage, not 120, but it's 2 energy less. Sorry, not 200. It's 1 energy less, more restrictive, but it's an extra stage as opposed to where Armor Rouge is. So, you know, it's got its trade-offs to be able to use that there for something similarly, but, you know, gives one less prize. I guess I'll say prize point. So, maybe not the best to use. Team Star Grunt. Discard a random energy from among the energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. Okay, so you can target abilities with this. That'll be interesting. So you have to make sure that opponent's Pokemon have abilities. So this is good against Darkrai. This is good against Giratina. You know, big scary ones there. A lot of those ones that have abilities, like the Legendary Beast EXs, some non-EX Pokemon. I'm trying to think if there are, is there many Mega Pokemon that have that there? Because if there's not, this might not be the best one. But if they're Mega Pokemon that start getting abilities, then it might be even better to be like, hey, yeah, you know, that Mega Pokemon, you can't exactly attack with it there. I know you were thinking of doing that next turn. So, nifty little one. Oh, well, we saw something in there, and now the background's changed. So, we're getting our 4th hit, and again, didn't get any sounds or visuals. Mastiff, 70 HP, Dark type, Dark in colors, bite for 30. Just being a loud dog, like barking out into the wild, trying to ward off whatever is coming towards it. And we got another Fuecoco, so doubling up on that one. I think we'd prefer to get new ones there, but you know, we got double of those. Squawk ability, 70 HP, colorless, double colors, quick attack 30 plus, flip a coin if heads to 30 more. Okay. Floragato, electric generator, flip a coin if heads, take a lightning energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your benched lightning Pokemon. Okay, you know, a little bit of lightning support is nice. And Nimble, 40 HP, grass type, U-turn for 1, 10 damage, switch with one of your benched Pokemon. Okay. Nice little perspective on there. Nimble's so small that we probably wouldn't be seeing it from the ground like this, so I think it's a nice little perspective to see because it's just so tiny and in the grass like that. Another Wiglet, Toadschool, doing its long stride, being a little bit of Squidward tennis balls, you know, not tentacles, tennis balls, 60 HP, fighting type 1, fighting for smash kick for 20, you know, just probably trying to find wherever it's going. Spidops looking very intimidating and very Spider-Man-like in this particular artwork here. 100 HP, grass type, 1 grass for bind down 40. During your opponent's next turn, they can't retreat. Okay. Iono. Okay, so we're getting another version of Iono in all of this. Each player shuffles the cards in their hand into their deck, then draws that many cards. Yep, we're just getting a reprint of her. I wonder if it's slightly different art. I think so, but it's a bit surprising like that we're already getting a repeat of a trainer here. Maybe people haven't gotten it in the old ones. It's very interesting. Very, very weird though. Fido, Nimona, during this turn, attacks used by your Pawmont do 80 extra damage to your opponent's active EX. Okay, I mean, that Pawmont was dealing 100 damage, dealing 180 potentially. Now it only works with one Pokemon, just the Pawmont, so we'll have to see what maybe like a Pawmont EX might be able to do, or if there is other Pawmonts that come out in the future that might be better to use this with. Another Squawk ability, Frigibacks again, Paldean Clodsire. You know, Clodsire, there is no other form of Clodsire. 120 HP, Dark type, double dark and colors for Muddy Hammer. 70 HP, discard the top of your opponent's deck. A little bit of milling action. Okay. And that's going to do it for our first set of cards. We did get a few special ones in there. A couple of art cards and a shiny Entei there. So we're getting some more cards registered in. And I mean, with the 5 packs that I opened up from my dailies and then the 3 from beginning and then 10, we're already at 61 out of 93. That's why like some of these go really, really quickly. It's just possible to get through them. So now we're going to move on to our
Next 10 for 20 packs here, and seeing if we might be able to get some more cool things in here. Are we going to get any sounds or visuals? Well, we got one sound, so we know at least one thing's in here. Capsicid. Well, now that we're getting some stuff, it might be more difficult to find new things, but I have faith that we can finish off the set by the very end. Capsicid. Grafii, 90 HP, dark type, 1 for colorful attack, 30+. If your Pokemon in play has 3 or more different types of energy attached to this attack, does 60 more damage. I get what it's going for, but it's not, like, I don't think that's good enough to be able to use it. You would only be able to use Pokemon that are colorless, or have colorless attacks, and that I don't think that there's enough of those to be good. Tarantula, or Tarantula, 50 HP, grass type, 1 grass for 20. Nothing special there. With Fuecoco, we get the regular one to add to the collection there. Similar guy to kind of that Paldean Wooper in the mud, just no thoughts in its head, just looking out into the wilderness saying, wow, today is a beautiful day, and just sitting there and watching forever and ever. Another Koraidon. A little bit of a room. I think this is the pack where we've got something in it. 60 HP, steel type, 1 steel for ram for 20 there. You know, just running over all of the rough terrain that's out there. Paldean Wooper, you know, similar, doing the same thing as Fuecoco, just sitting in the middle of the bog, looking out and being like, just no thoughts, just nothing going on in its head. Another Chiyu, Mousehold. So this time we're getting 1 child Mousehold comparatively to the previous set of Fantastical Parade where we got 2 children Mousehold. So we get a little bit, you know, extra on there. And I think one of the Tandem Mouse, whether it's the one in this one or the one in Fantastical Parade, are like gnawing on some oran berries, and they look really cute because their tails are connecting up, so it makes them, you know, look like the couple that they actually are. So 60 HP, colorless, double colorless for 999, 60. Flip 3 coins for each head, discard a random energy from your opponent's active. That can be pretty devastating there. So I could see this as like a little support disruption piece there. It doesn't have a lot of HP, but could potentially get rid of a lot of energy on your opponent's side. Tarantula, ooh, shiny Masquerada, and they're in this set. Like they're doing the shinies of the ones in this set as well. Interesting. 140 HP, grass type, double grass for fighting claws, 60+. If your opponent's active as a Pokemon EX, this does 70 more. Okay, I mean 130 damage for 2 grass. I mean, it's a second stage, but I mean, it's a, you know, not necessarily a counter, but, you know, does a whole lot of damage for EX Pokemon, which a lot of them are out there. So I'll certainly take that, especially since we've got a shiny Pokemon there. Very, very nice. I like the shiny of Meowscarada. Purple is my favorite color, so being able to see that pop up on it there is very, very nice. I dig it, and I'll certainly take that. Stoddle, 100 HP, water type, double water and a colorless for Icicle Missile, 60. Just enjoying the snow, you know, dancing out in the middle of the snowfall there, with no cares in the world. And our background changes, we got something else in this one as well. Mabostiff, 120 HP, dark type, double dark and a colorless for wild tackle, 110 damage. Also does 22 itself. And my goodness, very, very terrifying. I can see why Arvin would want this to be like up, out and about, and being able to protect him there, because it can be terrifying, it looks like, especially when it gets angry. Another Quaxley, Tink, and our special card. Oh, a little Grievard. I don't think we've gotten the Grievard yet, but look at them. They're playing with all of their different ghost type toys there. Oh, it's very, very cute little doggo. You know, it's got a Drifblim, a Gengar, a Ghastly, a Shuppet, and there's a Banna inside of a chest, but the chest could also be like Gimmighoul coated as well. It's very, very cute, you know, in a little bit more of a, I would say, not a haunted place, but a little bit
maybe spookier because all of the lights are off. You can see in the top right-hand corner there's a candelabra, and there's nothing on there. It's just the light on top of Grievard's head that is. But because there's so much stuff and it doesn't look like there's dust or wear and tear or anything, it looks like it's well populated. And I just saw that there's actually one other toy. If you see underneath that desk in the top right, there's actually a Ditto toy. And there's a Pokeball, but I mean, that wasn't a ghost type, but Ditto being able to become anything. I wonder if the Ditto is over there because he's a ghost type and can't touch normal types. That'd be kind of funny. Cute little Grievard. Crocolore, Veluza, another Crocolore, Nimble, and Wugtrio, 90 HP, water type. 1 water for triple whip 30x, flip 3 coins, that's 3 for each heads. Okay, a little bit of randomness for 1 mana, not 1 mana, 1 energy. Finizen, 68 HP, water type, 1 water for Razorvin 20. I wonder if the Palafin is going to be like hero form, or if it's going to be the other one, or I wonder if they would make like a double-sided one for this, that would have maybe a similar effect to a Palafin of like having it be 1 card on one side, but then if you do retreat it and it had like a, similarly to that flip turn effect, and then it would turn into a like the Palafin hero form on the back. Maybe that could be like a Palafin EX, like the whole card Palafin EX is like, attack with this once, it gets sent to your bench, and then it flips over into the Palafin hero form, and then you can try to bring that in another time. I think that'd be an interesting one. Big Air Balloon, stage 2 Pokemon. This card is attached to as no retreat. That is pretty cool. If you've got, especially in a deck that uses like rock, but they're under fighting types or steel types there. You can get other ones that are big, like Venusaur or Blastoise, that have big retreat costs, that being able to put this on and there's no retreat cost on them, that's pretty cool. Cloth, Florgato. So yeah, if you're trying to base your stuff around second stage Pokemon, I think that would be good. And a Bellybolt EX, this is for the Iono. 160 HP, lightning type, 2 lightning for high voltage cannon, 70 plus if you have set 4 or more lightning energy in play. This does 70 more damage. Now I like this one a lot more than the the ones that the Entei, Suicune, and Raikou EXs have, where you gotta get extra energy on this Pokemon. No, it's just you have to have 4 or more lightning energy in play, and it doubles the amount of damage. So it's like you could be building up your other Pokemon and be like, oh yes, this still only has 2 on it. I've got some extra in the back in case I need to switch out, or in case in case this dies, then you aren't relegated to be like, oh well, I had to put 4 on this one here. No. This one, this is a much better version of that, and I could see this one getting more play because of that. Now it doesn't have the ability to be able to draw a card at the end of each turn there, but still, Stage 1 Pokemon, 160 HP, there are still things that can KO it quickly, but dealing 140 damage is not something to scoff at for 2 energy. Nimble, we got another thing in this one. Kilowattrell, 90 HP, lightning type, 1 lightning for Speedwing 40, just a quick little one. Tink-a-Tink. Tadbulb, 60 HP, lightning type, 1 lightning for Electro Ball 20, and our special card. Oh, we got the immersive art. Okay, let's get this Arvin. He's got his Mabostuff with him. Well, I gotta say, that was a super cute one. We got to see a whole lot of Pokemon from the Paldean region, very much so from the early stage routes there, though Nimona was fighting a Orthworm in an environment where Orthworm doesn't really show up, so that was kind of the one thing that I think pulled it out. And I will say, I think that they should have added Penny in here somewhere, because we have Arvin being the actual card, and then we have the protagonist character when it pulls out, and then when we go out into the field, we see Nemona, but we don't see Penny anywhere. But that's like the 4 people that are involved in it. I know that Arvin and Nemona have a bit more history, but I would have imagined that they would have at least had the Penny in there at some point, because that is the 4 people you bring that go into the crater at the very end of the game. So, and I like how it tried to do the fake out of like, okay, you know, here's Arvin and we're gonna pull back, and then it shows the protagonist character, and then it starts going back in, and you could be like, oh man, you know, like it's a short little one there, but you actually see all of like the Hoppip and Fletchling in the background there, so you know that it's going to go forwards on that one. So not quite as much of a fake out as like the Suicune EX immersive art, where it looked like it was just going to end and then it went underwater, or the Gardevoir one where it just kept on going further and further out, even though you thought maybe it was going to end. You know, I like these cozy little ones that are like this. You know, the battle ones are nice, like the, you know, Charizard EX ones and Mega Gyarados EX, Mega Blaziken EX, but I like these cozy ones, I think, the best. So Arvin, flip a coin. If heads, put a random item card from your deck into your hand. If tails, put a random Pokemon tool from your deck into your hand. Okay, so no matter what you get something, it's just based off of whether you get a, you know, heads or tails. And I mean, if you put, you know, both items and tools in there that you're like, I need both of these, and if this is just a way to get one of either of them, I think that's pretty good. You know, maybe not the most over-the-top one, but certainly I'll take it, especially because it's an immersive art. And speaking of immersive arts, I actually found out that in the Fantastical Parade there is a second immersive art that I have not gotten yet. So, you know, when I do, because this set is so small, I probably won't do daily pulls from this. I'll probably more likely do it from Fantastical Parade to try to get more of its stuff. If I get it, I'll be able to showcase it. Tadpole, Dondozo, Dolive, Varoom, Quaquaval, Palmy, 60 HP, Lightning type, 1 Lightning for a random Spark, deals 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you get to choose. Okay. Bombardier, Grafai, Tinkatuff, Reveroom, Keepstar Grunt, Squawkabilly, Tinkatuff, Paldean Wooper, Toedscruel, 120 HP, Fighting type, 2 Fighting and Color, Stun Spore, 70, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active is now paralyzed. Kind of meh. I do like the environment that there is in the background of this, you know, very reminiscent of where you did find this in the wild in Paldea. But the way that it has its tentacle up to its mouth, it just looks really confused. It's just like, which way was my car again? Where did I park? I think it's just a little funny. Stoddle, Palmy, another Iono, Quaxwell, and Dondozo. So not as many special cards that we got in this one here, but we did get a nice shiny one there. We got an illustrated rare, and we got this immersive art as well. So we should be getting pretty well on to the number of cards, since we are starting to get to the point where we're getting a whole lot of duplicates there. So, you know, we're gonna have to be looking for EXs and rares. We're at 71 out of the 93 now. We've got 6 of the bonus sheet cards. Doing pretty good. This will be our first one where we're only using gold, so this will be our next 10 for a total of 30 packs. Seeing what goods we might be able to get in this. The suspense is arising. Maybe we'll get that Goldango. Okay, we heard one thing at the very end. So that's where we'll find something. Mankey. Oh, here's our Annihilate. 140 HP, so now it's 60 HP greater than the Primeape. You know, that's what I would kind of hope for this. 1 fighting for a Dynamite Punch for 90 damage, also does 30 to itself. You know, like it's gonna KO itself a bit quickly there, and I mean 90 for 1 is nothing to scoff at, but it is a stage 2 Pokemon that is dealing damage to itself, so maybe not the biggest fan of this. I think that if I was going to play this, and I don't know, if I was using the primate that had the 100 HP, or 90 HP, that was doing the 100 damage for 2, off of the one that if it has damage, it does that extra amount, and then swapping over. Well, no, it's still doing 100. Why would you swap it over to do 90? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this Annihilate just feels like it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you don't have the promo Makey that does the 10 to itself, yeah, you might want to find another way to do it because it's a lot harder for you to use that primate. But, you know, that Annihilate isn't the best, unfortunately. I'll look forward to an Annihilate EX because I think that would be good. Satotl, Pomo, Low Kicks, Cerulege, one of my favorites from the Paldea region. I wonder if this also has an EX or if it's just the Armourouge that does. 110 HP, Psychic type, 2 Psychic, and a colorless fighting sword, 70 plus. If your opponent's active as a Pokemon EX, does 70 more damage. Okay, so, you know, similar thing to the Meowscarada, you know, does extra damage there. So in this case, an extra, you know, 70 for 140. 140 isn't that bad, though it is 3 energy. Nimble, Wiglet, Toddle, and a Miraidon. Okay, so we got both of the legends. 120 HP, lightning type, triple lightning for lightning laser, 60 damage. Also does 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It does half the damage of what the Koraidon does, but it doesn't discard energy. But it does, well, it doesn't. It does half the damage to the active, but then it does an extra 50% to one of the benched. Not good enough, I think, to be able to use normally. Low Kicks, Lechonk, Toadschool, Fuecoco, Penny. There we are. We got the Penny. Look at a random supporter card that's not Penny from your opponent's deck. Shuffle it back into the deck. Use the effect of that card as the effect of this card. Again, this is a reprint of the Penny that we had in the in one of the previous sets. There, I think that this was in the Eevee Grove one because of all of the Eevees and whatnot. Yeah, you know, I just think it's a little bit strange that they're already reprinting cards. It's just a little bit weird. I mean, I understand them doing it in that the like special pack, the one that you only get 4 cards in it that has the guaranteed EX in it. I don't remember what those ones are called, but I can understand them doing it with that because they're all reprints with the exception of the like illustrated rares and all of the like things that are bigger than the 1 stars. So, you know, a bit strange, but, you know, I'll always take Pennies. She was my favorite character from them, mostly just in terms of design. I just like her design. But again, I think that she should have been in the Arven immersive art. Kinkatuff, Quaxley, Setitan, 150 HP, water type, 2 water, 2 colors for Ice Punch, 80 damage for the point of heads. Opponent's active is now paralyzed. Okay. Refy Eye. I don't think that it's good enough for it. Have not gotten Rabsca, so maybe Rabsca is like an EX. Paldea and Tauros, but this one is just Fighting Breed. It's not the Aqua or Aqua or Blaze Breed. 100 HP, Fighting type, 1 fighting colors for rear kick for 50. You know, it's got a lot of power if it's destroying some of that like stone, like that was just its hoof. Tarantula, Paldean Wooper, Mesagoza, Kilowattrell, Paldean Wooper, Pomo, Smoliv, you know, very, very nervous little olive Pokemon, 60 HP, Grass type, 1 Grass energy for Absorb, 10 damage, heal 10 from us, so, you know, it's doing better than Absorb in the games where it only lets you recover 50% of whatever you take, and this one it's letting you heal 100% of what you take, but I guess in those games, if you deal 1 damage, you still heal 1 damage because it rounds up. Scary Spidops. Oinkalone, 110 HP, colorless, triple colors for leg stomp, 100 damage for the point of tails. During your next turn, this can't attack. Pomo, Gimme Ghoul again, Orthworm, We got the little Paldean Wooper relaxing in the mud again. Wonder how many illustrated rares we've got, because we've only gotten a few. Satoddle. I know that there's a Gimmighoul one that we haven't gotten yet. Cloth, Scovillain, Relor, Tinkaton. Okay, so here's another rare that we haven't gotten yet. 150 HP, Steel type. Double Steel in colors, Gigaton Hammer, 140 damage during your attack's turn. This can't use Gigaton Hammer, makes sense. This might be a good one to be. I think a lot of these where it says this opponent can't use a specific attack, that's a good one where you could have that, like whatever that memory item tool card. I think it was a tool card is where you could use a previous attack, because attacks or like memory light, something like that. Where you could use previous ones just so that you'd be able to attack with this. It just won't use Gigaton Hammer, but being able to use Tinkatuff's attack just to do a little bit of extra damage while you're waiting for Gigaton Hammer to essentially recharge would be nice. So I think that's good with those particular types. Not so good with ones that say they just can't attack next turn, because they can't attack. Charcadet, 60 HP, Fire type, 1 for punch for 10 damage. You know, he's trying to get into his Mega Man phase, and we've gotten all of the Charcadet line here. Crocolore, we're still looking for the Skeledirge, because we've got Quaquaval, we've gotten a Meowscarada. Now I don't know if there's a Meowscarada EX, but we also need the regular Meowscarada as well. Tatsugiri, 70 HP, Water type, 1 water for Rally Back, 20 plus. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, does 60 more damage. So a little bit of a revenge killer there. You know, 80 damage for 1 isn't too bad. Toadschool, another Tatsugiri. Bramblin, haven't gotten this one yet, and it looks like we are getting something at the back of this one as well in our 10th pack. 50 HP, Grass type, 1 for rollout for 20, and it looks like this one is in a savanna instead of in a desert there, so I guess it's upgraded a little bit. Wugtriel, Paldean Wooper, Wugtrell, 60 HP, Lightning type, 1 lightning for Flap for 20. Looks like it's doing a little bit of diving, looking for a little bit of food, and our special card is going to be, getting an Orthworm for our illustrated rare. So I do think that Orthworm's going to be good, so getting an illustrated version of him is very nice, and definitely getting that Dune feel of having the giant sandworms jumping out from all of the sand dunes, jumping back in. So yeah, getting a little bit of Arrakis vibes, if you will. I really liked the Dune movies that had come out recently. I'm interested to see where they're going to go, because I know that if they're going to end it on a trilogy, there's a lot of books that they are not going to be including. So we'll see how it is. And we are now at 81 out of 93, so we only have 14 left. So hoping to be able to get those finished up would be really, really nice. Going for our next 10 for our 40th pack. There. We'll see how this one goes. Let us get a little bit lucky, get some interesting stuff. We're probably going to be getting a whole lot of repeats, though, so I heard some sounds in that one there. But don't be surprised that, you know, we're going to be getting a lot of repeats because of that. Mastiff, Lechonk, Quaxwell, Scovillain, Low Kicks, and Primeape, Refai, Tinkaton, Strudel, another Bellybolt EX. Okay, so if we want to make a deck with 2 of them, we can do that. There we go. We got the Gimmighoul illustrated rare here up front. I don't think I saw anything else in the back, so... Nope, there we go. Oh, so it looks like we do have a little bit of an EX card in the back there. Very nice. So we did see this. And as you can see, we can see the belt and the almost groin area of the Goldengo in the background. That is the 2-star Goldengo SIR that's back there, which would be really nice to get it. But yeah, you know, just having them crossing their arms, looking good. You've got the Goldengo there being like, don't talk to me or my son ever again type of vibes on it. So I dig it. I'm glad that I got this one. Primeape, Gimmighoul, 2 Gimmighoul Smoliv, and Meowscarada EX. Okay, so that Meowscarada must have been from a previous set then. Okay, Meowscarada EX, 160 HP, Grass type. One grass for flower trick, choose a spot from among your opponent's active and bench. At the end of your opponent's next turn, do 70 damage to the Pokemon in the spot you chose. So if they switch out, or if you choose their active and they switch out, then they'll have to do it. If they are have something on the bench there, they might be forced to switch out to be able to preserve it there. I mean, choosing 70 damage to do to a spot is probably pretty nice. Now, your opponent does get a chance to react to it, is the only thing, but if they don't have a good way to retreat and whatnot there, you can do that. Now, the other thing that you could potentially do is if they have one spot left open, you could stall them if you wanted to by selecting an empty spot and being like, well, you can't play there. And then if they try to put a basic Pokemon, most basics would probably die. And then 2 for Solar Beam 80. I think the Flower Trick is a nifty little trick, if you will, but I don't think that this is going to be good enough. Like, it doesn't have enough damage to really do anything, because doing 2 Solar Beams for 80, 2 Flower Tricks for 140, or doing one of each for 150, it's just not enough to try to take care of things. It needs to be doing more than 100 with one of its attacks. So, unfortunately, while I think the Flower Trick is cool, this isn't going to really see much of play. Flamigo, Lechonk, Electric Generator, Tandemaus, 30 HP, very, very weak, only 30 HP, and a colorless, one colorless for double hit 30x, flip 2 coins, does 30 for each heads. Palmat, Gimmighoul, Scovillain. The Tandemaus has half the HP of Gimmighoul. That's a little bit weird. Oinkologne, Gimmighoul, Toedscruel, Palmo, Rabsca, there we go, no Rabsca EX, 70 HP. Psychic type, double psychic for Psybeam 80. Opponent's active is now confused. Not that great. Toedscruel, Frigibax, Scovillain, Tandemaus, Low Kicks, Squawkabilly, Fuecoco, Espathra, 90 HP and Psychic, 1 Psychic for Psychic. That's a lot of Psychic. 30 plus, does 20 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. Kind of nice being able to do that on a first stage Pokemon. Now, it's not quite as effective as some of the other ones that have a similar effect, but this is a first stage that only requires a single energy to be able to utilize that. Now, most Pokemon your opponents control, with the exception of trying to do some Celebi EX strats, are probably not going to have more than 4 energy attached to them, so at most this is going to be dealing 110, but I think most Pokemon are not going to necessarily be having 4 energy onto them there. So maybe 2 or 3 is what you're more likely going to be able to do. So 70 to 90, it's an okay little bit of damage to get in there. Rabsca, Wiglet, Gimmighoul, Mankey, Revavroom, Scovillain, Dolliv, Frigibax, Toedscruel, Annihilate. Now we are looking for our Balliva. Paldean Tauros, Mastiff, Florigato, Frigibax, Spidops. We're also looking for Baxcalibur as well. We're waiting on those ones. And we did get a couple more, so be able to get those put in. Now up to 84, we are less than 10 cards away. Let's see if we can get that 10 more for our 50th pack. There. Let's get some more cool things, some things to add to the collection. Anything in these? A lot of things. We saw at least 3 shines. I heard 1 noise, so we're guaranteed a lot of stuff in this. Wugtrio, Paldean Wooper, Toedscruel, Bramblin, Wugtrio, Toedscruel, Paldean Clodsire, Finizen, Arcbax. We also need Palafin too. Rabsca. Okay, we saw something. Flamigo, Gimmighoul, another Fuecoco. Okay, we'd be looking for other illustrated rares if we could. Crocolore, Orthworm, Toedscruel, Fuecoco, Primate, Mabostiff, Chiyu. Don't know if any of the other treasures are going to be in here. That would be something else. Tadbulb, Big Air Balloon, Citadel. Some of them might be EXs, so that might be it. Sprigatito, Paldean Wooper. So we're getting some repeats on these illustrated rares. After this one, I might just go down and see how many illustrated rares there might be. Nimble, Mastiff, Dondozo, Frigibax, and another Fuecoco. So yeah, we're getting a whole lot of repeats of these illustrated ones. Cloth, Scovillain, Cloth, Crocalor, Tatsugiri, Paldean Tauros, Charcadet, Tingatink, Arctibax, and doubling up on our Arven immersive art. So I'll talk through this one. So we've got Mabostiff, Tarantula, Pomo, Pommy, Fuecoco, the protagonist, Lechonk. We've got some Knackley, Orthworm, Pomot, Mastiff, Deerling, Sawsbuck, Fletchling, Fletchenders, Starlies, Hoppip, Mareep, Psyduck, Lechonk, Nimona, Knackley. Yeah, just a lot of stuff that you might find at the very beginning. So getting to immersive arts, that's pretty darn good. We'll just be looking for a gold card if we're able to. Kilowattrell, Fido, Pommy, Cloth, Mabostiff. In our final pack, Fido, Rabska, Mankey, Espathra, Crocalor. Now that was 5, so I think we got a shiny here. And a shiny little Tinkating! Hey! They got their little bronze little hammer. Now, I think that this is a Tinkating from a previous set, though. Not the current one. But we'll certainly take that. So, yeah, we're getting to the point there of we're getting a whole lot because every single thing that we got, including the bonus cards with the exception of the very last shiny card, were all duplicates. So, we're getting to that point of, we've got less than 10. We're probably just got the maximum stuff. So looking here, there's not a whole lot of bonus cards down here. And I don't exactly know where the full art EXs are going to start, but with Arven being here, those EXs are going to be a combination of full arts and SIRs. So, you divide them down. If you've got 5, then you're probably going to have more than 5. There's not a whole lot. So, I mean, if there is any more illustrated rares, there's probably only like 1 or 2 more. There's not going to be that many because there's also the full arts are going to be for the trainer cards as well. So yeah, it's probably very unlikely that we're going to get any. Like I said, there's probably only 1 if there's 1 or maybe 2. Maybe something new in this one. Okay, so we got 1 shine. Hopefully it's 2-star. Strudel, Crocalor, Cloth, Low-Kick, Swug Trio, Oinkologne, Gimmighoul, Dotspun, Fuecoco, Veluza, Squawkabilly, Tingatuff, Citadel, Rabska, Koraidon, Scovillain, Dolive, Quaxley, Sprigatito, another Paldean Wooper. So fortunately, I think that was the one that shined. So no 2-star, Veluza, Strudel, Bramblin, Tingatuff, Mousehold, Lechonk, Cloth, Gimmighoul, Kilowattrell, another Meowscarada EX. I think I would have liked to have gotten another EX, but I guess that helps complete out the set of them. Sprigatito, Floragato, Smoliv, Grafaiai, Quaquaval, Lechonk, Big Air Balloon, Strudel, Toadschool. Okay, we can get other EXs too. We need those to help complete out the collection. Flittle, 50 HP, Psychic, 1 Psychic for flop for 20. Finizen, Tingatink, Kilowattrell, Paldean Tauros, Tingatuff, Keemstar Grunt. The regular Grievard, we hadn't gotten that one yet. 70 HP, Psychic type. There, we didn't even talk about what it does. Psychic Energy, Soul Shot, 30. Discard a card from your hand. If you can't, this does nothing. So this is a way for you to be able to discard Psychic type Pokemon as well if you want to stock up on them in your deck. That's a possibility. Toadschool, Rabska, and that's going to do it. So we got 1 new one from that entire set there. So not that great for that there, but it does look like we've got some things complete out. Looks like we've got 1 more trainer card, 1 more colorless. We've got Arctibax, which is probably going to be the last water type unless the Chanpao is in there. We've got Palafin, Skeledirge. Got another either grass type or a fire type there, and then we've got the Arboliva. So we're slowly making our way. So I think that this is now
going to be packs up to 70 with our extras that we did. Oh, we got a special shine in the back there, so I think that's a guaranteed to be a shiny Pokemon. Wiglet, Bramblegast, okay. 100 HP, grass type, grass and colorless continuous tumble, 60x. And not sure if we had read this one before, but yeah, doing 60 for each heads is pretty good on only a stage 1 Pokemon. Tadbulb, Toddle, Mesagoza, Vroom, Spathra, Florigato, Tinkatink, Chiyu, Toddle, Tadbulb, Titan, Arctibax, Grafai, Electric Generator, Dolive, Nimble, Crocolore, another Bellybolt EX. So we're getting a lot of. We've gotten to a whole lot of. I've gotten a Goldango EX in the past that we haven't gotten to in this yet. But I would feel that there's probably at least 2 more EXs that we haven't gotten. Lechonk, Toadsquirrel, Fuecoco, Palmy, Arboliva, so finally getting that one. 130 HP, Grass type, extra heal. Once during your turn, you may heal 60 from one of your EX Pokemon that has energy on it. If you do, discard an energy from it. 2 colorless for Seed Bomb, 70. Yeah, that's a pretty darn good ability on it there. Now, it only works for EX Pokemon, but if you're able to put the time in to try to get this, healing 60 off of a Pokemon is pretty intense there. I mean, you only get that sort of thing from, I think it's 1 trainer card, and it's specific to a Pokemon or something. So that's pretty intense. I think, what is it? Maybe Erica is like 50 for my grass type, but this is just an EX Pokemon, which is probably going to be your big damage dealer. So having this as being able to heal 60 from them, and it's just like, oh, I got to discard 1 energy. Oh no, I'll just attach that again. Or it's the Mega Gardevoir EX, and they're already putting a bunch of energy on themselves, so they can take care of that. But good to get Arboliva in the mix here. Fido, Flamigo, Mabosstiff, Bombardier, Grafai, Capsakid, Quaxley, Bramblecast, Pomo, Electric Generator, Tinkatuff, Florigato, Tercadet, Tatsuskiri, Electric Generator, Bramblin, another Paldean Wooper, relaxing in the mud there, Quaxley, Houndstone, Toadsquirrel, and getting the Suicune EX Shiny. So this is the one that we had the extra shine for, that had the special shine. So yeah, good old one of drawing the card at the end of the turn. Deals 20 damage for each bench Pokemon in play there. Suicune has a very majestic shiny to it. It's not super different. Like, it's a little bit of like I think it's like a little bit lighter blue color, and I think that it's kind of like cape fur goes a little bit darker purple. But yeah, it's just like a really regal one there. I mean, it was the mascot of Crystal, and I think it becomes very crystalline because of that. So yeah, I'm glad that I got that. Adds it to the collection. Toadsquirrel, Tanomouse, Tarantula, Espathra, and another Armarouge EX. Okay. So we did get a new shiny, and we got to add Arboliva to the to everything there. So only kind of going up 1 for the main set, which we get our special stuff from. So we only have, what is that, 7 more cards to be able to find from this set. Going in for another 10, so this will be our 80. Hopefully we can get these last ones pretty quickly to finish off the set there, or maybe we'll get some really cool shinies or full arts. So 1 sound at the very beginning for us. There's our Palafin, and it is in hero form. 130 HP, water type, triple water for Jet Punch for 50 damage, and it also does 50 to one of your opponent's benched. Okay, so 100 damage total, 50 to active, 50 to a benched Pokemon. That's not too bad. I mean, it's only stage 1. It's 3 energy. I wish it was 2, but we'll deal with what we deal with. Watrel, Shroodle, Mankey, Annihilate, Bramblin, Crocolore, Team Star Grunt, Toadsquirrel, and another Fuecoco,
not full art, illustrated rare. Now we're looking for other things than those. Tick-a-tink, Satotl, Electric Generator, Crocalor, Tatsukiri, Flittle, Penny, Nimble, Flamigo, another Armarouge EX. Let's get those last few cards. We got one of them. Pomo, Fuecoco, Flittle, Mabosstiff, Bellybolt EX. I know you're holding out on one of them here. Palmont, Gimmighoul, Claw, Fido, another Armarouge EX. So now they're trying to give me the EXs and whatnot there, but not the cards that I'm looking for. Bombardier, Pomo, Dolive, Spathra, Doxbun. I was like, that pausing is really weird. Varoom, another Grievard, illustrated rare. Good to get those so that, you know, we can kind of spread the love. It'd be nice to get another Orthworm one if we've got to get another one that's not new. Flamigo, Pomo, doubling up on the Grievard. So double Grievard in that pack is nice. Chingatuf, Sprigatito, Florgato, Koraidon, and Veluza. Wiglet, Tingatink, Fuecoco, Bramblegast, and another Koraidon. So, again, just adding one new little thing in here, but not a whole lot. So, hoping that we can just slowly whittle this down, that we can get just enough to be able to put us over, because now we just need 6 cards. We're going on to the 90th pack here. Hoping that we'll be able to complete out this set. We're so close on it. We've got a few more attempts to be able to do this before we run out of the gold. Well, I heard something and I saw something. Pawmi, Doxbun, Shroodle, Pomo, Spidops, Nemona, Tadbulb, Primeape, Fuecoco, Wugtrio, Charcadet, Wattrel, Houndstone, Paldean Wooper, and Electric Generator, Quaxwell, Lechonk, Palmot, Paldean Wooper, Cerulege, Bombardier, Frigibax, Varoom, Spidops. Finally getting the Baxcalibur, so we are getting something new here as well. 140 HP, Water type, Ice Maker ability. Once during turn, you may take a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to the water Pokemon in the active spot. Triple water for Buster Tail 90. Kind of a nice ability there, you know, just being able. I would have not imagined Baxcalibur would have been a support Pokemon, but that's what they ended up making it. So, you know, I guess that's an interesting way to be able to do it. But getting a new one there is nice. Squawkabilly. The regular Arven, we did need that because we have gotten 2 immersive arts before we got the regular card. That's a little bit funny. So getting the actual Arven now. So now we've gotten 2 of them. We've only got 4 cards left in the packs here. Grievard, Wiglet, another Meowscarada EX. I like the Meowscarada. It's my favorite of the starters there for the Paldea, so I guess that's why it's showing up so much. We still need a Skeledirge, so maybe Skeledirge will be an EX, or maybe it's just a rare that's giving us a hard time. Quaxwell, Florgato, Tatsugiri, Wiglet, Annihilate, Pomo, Squawkabilly, Orthworm, Cyclizar. Okay, we didn't have that one. 90 HP and Colorless. Triple Colorless for Driving Buddy, 40 plus. If you played a support during your turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So very similar to the Silvally one, but it's a basic instead, but it takes an extra energy to do it. So that's the only difference between the two. I don't know if the Silvally does more damage, like for the total after you've played the supporter, but this is an interest. I know that it's an interesting attack to work around, so we'll take that. And now we're only down to 3 cards. I'm glad that we've gotten like a bit of a boost here. We've been getting 1, 1, or even 0 new ones, and now we got 3. Smoliv and a shiny Gimmighoul. Okay, and this one is in the pack here because it's a continuous coin toss. Gimmighoul having kind of a really weird shiny. Its body goes from a dull gray to a white color. Not one of my preferred shinies, but I will certainly take a shiny Gimmighoul here. You know, it's a new card. Starting off with a Fuecoco here. You know, we got the little bit of a shines here as well. Wiglet, Mastiff, Tinkatuff, and a Bellybolt EX. Alright, last pack. Can we make it 4 new things? Wattrel, Gimmighoul, Squawkabilly, Bramblegast, Orthworm. Well, I guess technically we did with the Gimmighoul shiny there, so. But it's really, really nice to be able to, you know, get more of the cards that we were missing. Now we're down to 3. Whatever this thing is after Relor and before Fuecoco, we need the Skeledirge, and I'm going to assume that that's
Chien-Pao off of there. I don't know what other thing other than like Walking Wake might be there, but we're not doing paradox forms yet, so I doubt it. Okay, doing this one here, we're at PAX 100, though we did have some extras at the beginning, so we're not going to be stopping after this one, but hopefully we can get them here. One Shine, okay. Tingatuff, Low Kicks, Tarantula, Flamigo, Bramble Ghast, Tadpole, something in this, Tingatuff, Reverum, Daxbun, and Tanomouse, okay, a shiny Pokemon. Oh, shiny Tingatuff EX. Yeah, this one was from a previous one. Yep. Again, nothing changes on the Tinkaton itself, it's just its hammer, but now we've got the Tinkatink, and now we've got the Tinkaton, all in the shiny there, so hey, we'll certainly take a full art EX shiny. We've gotten 2 already with the Suicune and the Entei. It'd be nice to get the Raikou as well, but yeah, we'll certainly take another shiny full art. Florigatos, Titan, Gimmighoul, Flamigo, Quaquaval, Fuecoco, Nimona, Fuecoco, Watrel, another Meowscarada EX, Flamigo, Tarantula, Smoliv, Doxbun, Low Kicks, Room, Dolive, Arctibax, Veluza, Espathra, Tingatuff, Dolive, Strudel, Mesagoza, Wo-Chien. Okay, so we are getting Wo-Chien. That was the grass type afterwards. So if the water type after Baxcalibur is Chien-Pao, we just didn't get a Ting-Lu. Interesting. 120 HP, grass type, triple grass and a colorless binding breed, 90 damage to your opponent's next turn. Attacks used by the defending Pokemon cost 2 colorless more. Now that is a really good attack there. It costs a whole lot there, I understand, and only does 90, but to force them to use 2 extra energy to attack, that can be a little bit debilitating. So it'd be nice to be able to get this out early. I mean, if you've got it with a Serperior, then it only takes 2 grass energy to be able to use. So this could be a big stally Pokemon to be able to do that. And we're doubling up on the shiny Gimmighoul. Okay, that's funny, lots of Gimmighoul coins, I guess. Well, we got something new, and we got another shiny. It's Titan, Gimmighoul, and we also got the shiny full art, Quaxwell, Tarantula, Chien-Pao EX. Okay, so there was another EX hiding, so I think we only have just the Skeledirge missing. So Chien-Pao EX, so no Ting-Lu, but we are getting an EX on one of these. Probably one of the most popular ones, as I like to call it, Big Boy Weavile, because Weavile is one of my favorite Pokemon, and it's just Weavile, but better stats, because it's legendary. 130 HP, water type, it's basic. For when you get Icicle for 20 damage, just do it automatically. Triple water for diving Icicles. Discard all water energy from this. This attack deals 130 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Unfortunately, I don't think that this is great. Like, sure, you can use the Icicles like twice, but then for its main attack to only do 130, you discard everything on it. I don't think that's going to do enough. It's not good enough to be able to sustain itself. I will certainly take it for the for everything here, because now we only need Skeledirge and we're done. Lechonk, Tinkatink, Baxcalibur. Getting a second Baxcalibur is good. Dolive, Spidops, Rellor, Gimmighoul, Mankey, Penny, and another Palafin. Okay. So just in case we need doubling up on stuff there, we have some of those, so I'll be good. Okay, so that is going to finish up there and there. Now we just have one fire type. We still have... there's not a whole lot of shiny Pokemon, because before Meowscarada is just going to be the Sprigatito and the Florigato. There's going to be 3 between Gimmighoul, and I'm sure that maybe... And it'll probably be the Goldango EX from this set that's going to be after the Tinkaton. That will be the... or it could be before the Tinkaton EX if there's a 2 gold cards in this, because I could see, well, no, the Raikou is electric, and I think electric comes after fire and water, so yeah, it'll be between there. So it'll be Tinkatink, Tinkatuff there. There'll be another full art shiny Pokemon or maybe a colorless one in the 125 spot, but we really didn't get any 2 stars in this one. So, we've gotten some of the shiny Pokemon. We doubled up on the immersive art, but kind of for those ones there, we didn't get a whole lot of luck. So now we're moving on here to 110 for these ones here, hoping that maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get another 10 afterwards. Now we do just need the Skeledirge there to be able to complete out the set. So if you can give me a Skeledirge, that would be great. Okay, I heard one sound near the end. I'm imagining that it's either going to be a Skeledirge EX or it's going to be a rare. Because Meowscarada was an EX, Quaquaval was a rare. I did see a rare among the cards as they were sorted in, so hopefully we got a Wiglet, Squawkability, another Wo-Chien, okay, we'll take that, Fido, and another Grievard there. Again, getting a whole lot of 1 stars, but no 2 stars. Primeape, Gimmighoul, Kilowattrel, Finizen, Tatsugiri, Primeape, Iono, Nimble, Double Nimble, Maushold, Mastiff, Lechonk, Cloth, Toadschool, another Qianpao EX. Okay, so, just making sure we have doubles of things. Penny, Cloth, Bombardier, Arctidax, Gimmighoul EX. Okay, so here's the Gimmighoul that I've already gotten, but we can showcase it. 150 HP, Steel type, 1 Steel for Spending Rush. One of your opponent's Pokemon is chosen at random for each Steel energy attached to this Pokemon. For each time a Pokemon is chosen, deal 40 damage to it. So it's very similar to that Dragonite that was originally in Genetic Apex, but instead of doing it only for the amount that's on it there, it's 40 for each energy onto it. So I think it was either like 3 or 4 energy on that Dragonite, and you did 50 damage to 4 targets. Now, this does a little bit less damage because it's not a second stage Pokemon, but it is an EX, so it's by getting 4, you deal 160 total. But the thing is, you could keep on putting more and more energy onto this if you wanted to be able to, do more and more damage. So, you got that Orthworm, or you use the Dialga EX to get a whole lot of Steel-type energies onto this, and you can just be dealing loads and loads of damage. That could potentially be good. I could see this being able to KO some really big things, maybe 2 things at once because of it. So glad to get another one of those. Quaxley, Tinkaton, so doubling up on that just for our collection. Tarantula, Flittle, Dondozo, Palmy, Finizen, Nimble, Paldean Tauros, Cerulege, Oinkologne, Espathra, Varoom, Frigibax, another Fuecoco, Full Art, Capsukid, Frigibax, Annihilate, Oinkologne. There's our Skeledirge. We have finished the set now. 150 HP, Fire type, Passionate Voice ability. Once during your turn, you can discard a Fire energy from this Pokemon in order to use this ability. During this turn, attacks used by your Fire Pokemon do 50 damage extra to your opponent's active. Has Heat Crash, Fire, and Colorless for 70. Now, I could see you doing something where you get a good Fire type out there, and you want to do that damage, so you put a Fire energy on this to discard it. And, you've got stuff like the Flareon EX that is able to replace stuff. You've got the Fire Patch, which is able to bring some fire energy back from your graveyard. I think that this is actually a really good ability because it's another, support ability. It doesn't have to be in the active slot to be able to use it. You just have it on the bench and be like, okay, I discard this fire energy and I'm doing 50 extra damage. Your opponents have to account for 50 extra damage whenever you want to. So yeah, I think that it's good. And we ended up finishing up the set, so all right. Tingatuff, Nimona, Tandemaus, Fido, and we got another Orthworm like we were hoping to. So if I want to bling out the deck, I can do too. And there we have it. We have officially finished off the set with potentially one more, what do you call it there? One more multi-open to be able to do it. There we are. We've collected every diamond card in the expansion. And I think actually that's where I'm going to end it. I think I'll save the other stuff for doing other things, other packs, maybe use it in the Fantastical Parade.
because that one actually has, a lot more stuff, and I haven't actually completed it yet. So might be good for me to do it there, because I think I've got like 3 cards remaining in it that I need to find, and I'd rather use the points to be able to get the other gold card that's in it, because I do know that there's 2. But thanks for joining me on this one. I think there was a lot of cute cards in this. I don't think that there was anything that'll be super impactful in this. Like, we've got some nice support Pokemon there, like Orthworm. We got the Baxcalibur and the Arboliva. But the EXs with I think Armarouge was okay, taking 30 less damage, had a decent attack on it there. Skeledirge had a nice support ability. Goldengo, I think, could see some play with Dialga EX or Orthworm. But yeah, I don't think that there was a whole lot else on it. Like, some of, I think Mesagoza was a good stadium. Electric Generator was a nice little item card there. They reprinted Penny and Iono. Iono is a very, very good trainer card, so getting more of those is nice. But yeah, I think it was not the best set there. I mean, I know it is just a supplement to the Fantastical Parade, but we will take what we can get. I love seeing the new artwork. Wish I could have gotten that extra Goldengo one, but we'll see how it goes in the future. Maybe I'll get it in some of my free packs once I'm done looking for things in Fantastical Parade. Alright, well, thanks for joining me on this one. I hope that you enjoyed checking out some of the artwork and some of these new cards with me. I'll see you in a month when they come out with the next set. Next set, probably. Take care. I'll see you next time.